So first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Mark Manderson, and I've been in this game of life for a while of actually leading others out of their pain and finding their purpose. And so as I did that for 20 years, I started finding that higher and higher levels of individuals were suffering from the same thing, but that it took a different way to actually help them understand what is needed to continue to grow. So the reason why I'm making this video and why you're here is I'm assuming there's something that feels like is missing from your life. Like you were meant for more. The reason why I know this is because for a while on the outside, it looked like I had everything. The wife and the kids, the business, doing really well, continuing to grow, the vacations. On the outside, it looked like the life was perfect, living in Orange County, and many aspects were. But there was a part of me that kept screaming out, I was meant for more. I'm living at half measures. I have built a life that I can do so much more and feel so much more. And so I went on a journey for a while. It took about a decade, actually. And so I started to go down this avenue of helping people with mental health and addiction because I was told at one point in my life by a doctor that I was depressed. I suffered severe depression. I became suicidal at one point, that I had an attention deficit disorder. And that's why my brain was all over the place and I couldn't focus. And I found I became more and more labeled. And then, of course, friends and family labeling. And I've always considered myself a good man. I was born and raised in the church. I've always made somewhat decent decisions, always wanting to take in other people's feelings into account. And as I started to grow the business, I just felt like I was meant for more. In the realm of fitness and health, I had settled. At the worst, just to give you an idea, I'm 6'1". I was 240 pounds. And I can remember when my wife was pregnant with our second child, my little daughter came up, about 2 years old, looks at my wife's stomach and says, Mommy have baby in belly? And then looked at me and said, Daddy have baby in belly. That was a gut punch. I grew up an athlete. I still considered myself an athlete, even though I didn't play sports. In my mind, I was still an athlete. Well, finally, I saw some pictures of myself and I felt guilt and shame. And I rationalized with myself, no, check that. Let me correct myself. I lied to myself that I was so busy running a business, trying to raise one kid, another one on the way. Another lie I told myself was being a great husband. I can remember at the absolute worst part is when my wife had given birth to my son. The thing is my business is right across the street from the hospital. And just the amount of just chatter in my head of work and business and having to take care of all these things and payroll and all this stuff. I remember telling my wife I was going to go downstairs to eat for a while. And I ended up going across the street and working for a few hours. I didn't realize it then, but looking back, once I did have this wake up, this realization, because I had become the guy I never wanted to become. I was working long hours with the excuse and the rationalization of I'm doing this to keep a roof over our head. I'm doing this to help people, which both are true, but they're not exclusive statements. So I let my health just get completely out of control. My walk in faith and spirituality, I felt completely bankrupt. I felt so disconnected from my creator. My relationship with my wife is good. But again, I noticed I was lying to myself that good was okay. Even though something deep inside my soul was saying you were meant for so much more. But I'd settled. Same thing with my kids. I was there for them. I've always wanted to be the good dad, and I'm glad I was and am. But there became a point where I said, I don't want to be the good dad. I want to be the best father for these kids. So my relationships were suffering. Financially, I was doing okay enough living in Orange County, have a great business helping people. But I knew there was so much more I could do to help more than just the thousands and eventually tens of thousands. Like I want to help anybody who does not have the tools in the mental health and addiction realm. That's my area of expertise. And so for a while, even though I kept doing that, I started branching off and doing business consulting. And it was so fun, the rush and the excitement and helping people just increase their bottom line. And it was a lot of fun. What I started to find is I thought the two worlds were completely different. But a lot of the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the executives that I was working with were great and elite at what they did in business, but had a disconnect with everything else, built on shaky ground, affairs, some sleeping in the office, saying that they do not want to go home. And then to cope, to numb out, either porn, drinking gummies, all in an attempt to just try to numb the pain. And I started to see this theme as I worked with more and more individuals, just kind of like this soul calling of I was meant for more. What does that look like? And then the whole feeling aspect. What does it mean to be an executive, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and to understand how feelings can actually help guide us and fuel us in our journey to help integrate every other aspect? There's a reason why we feel certain something, but when we don't know how to engage in that, to actually extract the lesson, that can run rampant everywhere. So what I started to do is to build an actual framework, just like so many executives work off of SOPs. They actually have policies and procedures and steps for business, but nothing like that for the rest of life. And that's why their relationships were falling apart. Or, like mine, were good. There was something inside saying, I know I am meant for more. The reason why I share this with you is because I'm opening up a small private group to help train and educate and to show you what I have learned over the last 21 years, helping, I don't know, I think we're around tens of thousands of families of how to heal and to cope and how to actually integrate. And what is amazing about this is the higher functioning individuals, and this is why this is geared now towards executives and entrepreneurs. And it's incredible because being so effective in one area, but missing out on the other four areas. This is why with what we do on the inside is we hit fitness and health of what that looks like, where I went from 240 down to 214. And then now I'm in the 170s with high energy, feeling fantastic, wonderful relationship with food. I actually look forward to when I eat, I can feel it. I eat food as fuel now, as opposed to just another tool of sedation. In my walk with spirituality and faith, feeling on fire and divinely directed with my steps each and every day as I spend time with my creator, with a loving wife and kids, and this family unit of eating dinner together every single night, doing what I call the 10 vacation year, just about every month taking a vacation, just the four of us, just syncing with family, becoming a stronger unit, no electronics at the table, fully connected, getting to enjoy each other at a spiritual level. It's wild. And then the finances, seeing the business grow and grow and grow, getting to help even more people. And then all of those sit on this fifth and final foundation, the foundation of feelings, going from a place where completely depressed, suicidal, into a place now where I love life so much. I didn't know I could feel this deep, with all these beautiful and wonderful emotions, but also through the process of learning how to feel to heal and to enjoy everything. So, this is an invitation. If any of this resonates with you, if you feel like there's something inside you saying that you too are meant for more, I would love to have you join us. Go ahead and fill out the form below to see if we'd be a good fit.